Today we learned more about the night two pedestrians were hit on a Whitley County road. The driver's been charged with murder and assault in the case.
I thought for a second the Ark was going to be here.
Clark County is getting a chance to dry out after Monday's storms. We'll take a look at the damage left from the flooding.
The University of Kentucky Athletics Department is taking over at UK Children's Hospital.
I just hope it helps them in any small way.
A look at the Hall of Champions coming up.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. Investigators say she was visibly intoxicated. Tonight we are learning more about a deadly hit-and-run crash in southern Kentucky.
State police say Sonia Askins was driving a car that hit and killed Teresa Ward Bennett, who was walking with her husband along Highway 895 in Whitley County last week. Askins was in court today, and a detective took the stand to lay out the evidence. Victor Puente has the latest in our top story at 5:30.
The two people who were hit were walking in front of their home last week. During the preliminary hearing this afternoon, we got more information about the moments before and after that impact. Teresa Ward Bennett and her husband, Joshua, were walking on Kentucky 859 when they were struck by a car last Monday. The impact killed Teresa and sent Josh to the hospital. Kentucky State Police say Sonia Askins was the driver responsible for hitting the two.
She checked on for a very brief moment. One of the pedestrians was laying there and she was deceased on the scene. She inquired about him, then left the scene, and she went to her boyfriend's house, then later came back.
At her preliminary hearing, a detective testified that Askins was under the influence at the time of the crash.
She told me that she had a shot of moonshine earlier that day, and she took some vitamins, some other prescription medication. She told me she took oxycodone and also morphine.
The day after the crash, a neighbor told me Askins had crashed on that road before. Today, Detective Kelly said she had lost an eye when it happened.
Approximately about a year and a few months prior to that, and she had that, but the other eye looked like it was red, bloodshot. Also, she was slurring her speech a little bit.
Askins' attorneys didn't raise any objections in court, simply asking for clarification on some of the detective's statements. The judge decided there was enough evidence to send this case on to a grand jury that would decide if Askins would be indicted for murder, assault, and several other charges. In Whitley County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The crash happened in front of the Bennett's home. Last week, Joshua Bennett told us he will not be able to go back there because of what happened.
People in Clark County are racing to clean up today before the next round of storms hit. Showers and storms Monday caused some high water issues in parts of the area. In Clark County, several people along Old Boonesboro Road were trapped in their homes when a creek in the area flooded. A woman who babysits for a family was at a home when the water started rising.
The water started rushing up, and it did kind of get intense there for a few minutes, you know, like wondering if everything was going to be okay. And make for sure that people's cars just start floating away. You know, you've seen some pretty bad flooding before. So I thought for a second the Ark was going to be here.
The family's house does not have any water damage, but water did get into two of the family's garages. And in southern Kentucky, the Adair County Emergency Management Agency is asking kayakers to avoid a popular spot for now. Check out this video from the EMA's Facebook. They're urging people to not kayak or float under the North 55 Campbellsville Street Bridge. Leaders say the area is impassable because of downed trees and flooding.
People cleaning up need a day to dry out, but that's not happening anytime soon. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here tracking some more storms. Chris?
Yeah, at least we're getting some dry hours out there now. Can I say we're going to get a full dry day across the entire region over the next several? No, because we will get some more storms on into town. But what is out there now is certainly much smaller than what we were looking at just 24 hours ago. Southeastern Kentucky, Mountain Parkway, Big Sandy Valley, picking up on some scattered stuff. A little shower and thunder shower action trying to fire up there into Jackson County. And look what we have right on top of downtown Lexington now. That is one lone little shower that has popped up right on top of downtown. Look at that. It is small in nature, but at least for the downtown area, we're getting in on the skies opening up over a couple of neighborhoods. Now, our live sky cam is looking toward Hamburg Pavilion right now. That is to the west of where that little shower has popped up. But it is a muggy day across the entire area. And what is going to happen, those little isolated showers will continue to rumble across the region over the next little bit. Let's see if I can zoom that sky cam toward the downtown area and see if we can pick up on that little shower. And there you go. I bet we could see a little rain shaft falling from the clouds. And that's basically it right there. That is the shower we were just looking at on our Defender Radar Network. You want to talk about teeny tiny? That is maybe impacting a couple of streets into downtown Lexington. Guys, when I come back in a little bit, I'll show you why I have a little more concern about what's coming down the road over the next few days.
Thank you, Chris. Flooding from future storms soon will not be an issue for a neighborhood in northeast Lexington. The city is spending nearly $3 million to increase the capacity of the stormwater system in the Joyland neighborhood. Crews will be adding more storm drains, larger drain pipes, and underground culvert. The work is scheduled to be in early November.
A judge has set a trial date for a murder case in southeastern Kentucky. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Knox County. Court officials say the trial for Elijah Messi, Angela Mills, and Stephanie Smith is set to start January 23rd of 2017. Investigators say the three of them, along with Patrick Baylor and Christopher Wagner, were involved in a deadly home invasion in May of 2014. They say Baker and Wagner pretended to be U.S. Marshals, forced their way into Donald Mills' home, and killed him. Baker and Wagner are charged with murder. Their trial starts November 14th. And in Whitley County, state police have identified a woman killed in a crash. It happened around 8 in the northbound lanes between the two Corbin exits on Monday morning. Troopers say Mary Rose Wilson of Williamsburg was killed. Investigators haven't said much about what led to that crash.
New tonight, federal court officials have set a trial date for an eastern Kentucky attorney charged in a massive disability benefits scheme. Eric C. Conn, along with Judge David Doherty and Dr. Alfred Adkins, are accused of defrauding the Social Security Administration with disability payments. Conn's trial is now set for June 5th of 2017. And we've learned tonight that Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is paying an out-of-state law firm $500,000 to investigate corruption in state government. The 2-year contract was awarded to an Indianapolis law firm. The firm is specifically looking for possible violations of state spending rules and pressuring of state workers for campaign donations. Andy Beshear, the Attorney General, has denied any wrongdoing, has also accused Bevin of violating campaign finance laws.
A big honor for UK Hospital. In a new report released today, U.S. News and World Report has ranked the University of Kentucky Albert B. Chandler Medical Center as the #1 hospital in the state. It also is the only hospital in Kentucky rated as high performing in its cancer care, and it's nationally ranked for its geriatric care. Baptist Health, also in Lexington, was ranked 3rd on the list of best hospitals in the state. They're hoping to inspire patients the UK way. Today, Kentucky Children's Hospital unveiled a special UK-themed hallway called the Hall of Champions. Andrea Walker takes a closer look.
1, 2, 3. Good job.
The Hall of Champions was revealed today at Kentucky Children's Hospital. The $300,000 project was made possible by the fundraising efforts of UK's head football coach Mark Stoops and the entire coaching staff.
We just want to do our part and really appreciate the community and supporting our fundraising activities. And it's been a wonderful experience.
The Hall of Champions was designed to engage, inspire, and provide an uplifting environment for families forced to spend much of their time behind the walls of a hospital. Families like the Main family we met today.
Jake was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He had a mass in his chest, and things are going good. Actually, God's blessed us, and we're looking forward to getting Jake back healthy and back playing sports.
Jake is now undergoing chemotherapy, a difficult situation made a little easier with today's reveal.
I think it's really cool how they made that and showed pictures and I think it should inspire other kids.
The wall-to-ceiling mural features former UK wide receiver Randall Cobb, basketball legend Jamal Mashburn, Hall of Fame gymnast Jimmy Hansen, and Coach Stoops himself.
I just hope it helps them in any small way. Like I said, if they're in here, they're going through some trying times for them and their family. And if they could walk by and get a little bit of inspiration from a mural, that's what we're here for, to help in any small way we can.
In Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
Coach Stoops invited Jake and his father to attend a UK football practice later this summer.
At first glance, it looks like something destined for outer space, and it's sitting right off of Interstate 64. So many people driving by are probably wondering, what is it? Robert has our good question. Would really like to know what we've been looking at all week. This has been parked at the rest area between Mount Sterling and Winchester. Thank you. Robert, thank you. I love good questions like this one because it really does look like something from the space program, but it's not. For an answer, I started with Officer Jared Newberry of Commercial Vehicle Enforcement, and he contacted the Kentucky Department of Motor Carriers. They say this thing is a gas slug catcher. It's for natural gas work. The gas slug catcher is 130 feet long. It's being moved from Tennessee to West Virginia. Its average speed on the interstate is 30 miles per hour. Now, because of its size, this is considered what's called a super move. Officer Newberry is not sure when this super move will happen back on Interstate 64, so it's still sitting there. Robert, thank you for the good question and for these pictures. To submit a good question, send email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Still ahead here on WKYT, he wants a new high school and he wants it soon. How the new Scott County Superintendent's funding plan would affect taxpayers.
I'm Bill Bryant. The Bevin administration pushes back, requesting a change on health care in Kentucky. A county sheriff is resigning, and more communities will vote on alcohol sales. The bottom line is ahead.
The Bevin administration is not rushing to make big changes to the state's Medicaid program.
And the Anderson County Sheriff is stepping down. Bill Bryant tells us why in the bottom line.
Good evening. The Bevin administration is delaying seeking a federal waiver to make substantial changes to the state's Medicaid program. The governor's deputy chief of staff has told Kentucky Public Radio the goal had been to apply by August 1st, but the large number of comments that came in about the proposal is causing the administration to slow things down. Governor Bevin's proposal would create co-pays for doctor visits, and participants would pay a small monthly premium. Vision and dental coverage would be eliminated, but that coverage could be earned through community service under the governor's proposal. When the waiver request is submitted to Washington, there is another required comment period. WFPL Radio reports the request could now be several months to a year away. The improved economy bringing more money into Kentucky's coffers. State budget officials say the general fund grew by nearly 4% in the past fiscal year. It was fueled by strong sales taxes and more individual income tax receipts. The general fund collections rose to $10.3 billion for the period that ended June 30th. Overall, that means the budget had an almost $53 million surplus. Not all the news is rosy. Coal severance tax receipts were down 33%. Anderson County Sheriff Troy Young, who has spent 30 years in law enforcement, is stepping down at midterm. Young, who has been in office since 2005 and was just reelected in 2014, says he and his family agree it's a good time to go. Young's resignation is effective September 1st. The county judge executive, Aubrey Gritton, will be appointing a replacement to serve until the local elections in 2018. Several more special elections on alcohol sales have been set for the next several weeks. That includes county-wide votes in Boyd, Casey, Owen, Robertson, and Shelby counties. There have been more alcohol votes already this year in Kentucky than in 2014 and 2015 combined. Most of the time, voters have approved the alcohol sales. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
He has been in charge for about a month now, and the new Scott County School Superintendent is already pushing for some big changes.
Tonight, there will be a public meeting to go over the proposed funding and construction of a new high school in Scott County. Superintendent Kevin Hubb is asking for a nickel tax to pay for bonds to cover costs to build the Great Crossing High School. The project is expected to cost $48 million. That tax would come out to about $75 per household for a house valued at $150,000. Tonight's meeting starts at 7 in the John L. Hill Chapel at Georgetown College.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, it's been mainly dry out there today across central and eastern Kentucky, mainly because we're still seeing some pop-up little showers and thunderstorms trying to go off on us across the region. But as we go through the next few days, more in the way of those clusters of thunderstorms will likely impact the weather across Kentucky. Defender Radar Network, let's get you up close and personal on a couple of these little showers in and around Cave Run Lake, parts of Bath County into Rowan County, just to the north of West Liberty. Looks like along 519. Downtown Lexington, that one little shower, boy, it did not last very long. it is already beginning to weaken as it works its way toward the south, right on top of the Fayette Mall area, Armstrong Mill, Manowar, and eventually that will work its way into northern parts of Jessamine County. Here's what we are seeing with that little shower, and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing, just a few minutes ago, had a small little rain shaft with it, not even seeing a whole lot of drops coming from the sky as of now, but that's just showing how small these little popcorn type showers and thunderstorms have been today. A little greater coverage now developing to our west, and what you see rolling into town out of parts of Illinois is something we'll watch very closely over the next few days, because the pattern is likely to throw at least some scattered storms around tomorrow. Better coverage, I think, Thursday and into Friday, and both of those days can feature some additional local high water issues. New hour-by-hour forecast spitting out a little complex of thunderstorms that kind of pulses up right on top of central Kentucky as we go into Thursday, Wednesday night into Thursday and early Friday. And the models here, what they're telling us, they're only spitting out an inch and a half or so. They don't do well with thunderstorms. They're telling us to watch out. There could be some hot spots around on Thursday of some heavy downpours once again across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. You can never take a computer model verbatim. You've got to kind of read the pattern and see what it's saying to us. And I think the pattern on Thursday will feature some rounds of thunderstorms that can put down some heavy rains again. That'll likely carry us into Friday. Outside of any storm over the next few days, you know what? It's upper 80s, may flirt with 90 on any given thermometer across the land. But the humidity is off the charts. That happens after you put 3 or 4 inches of rain in the ground.
You know how I like to look at the positive side of things? Everything's still green. If you have new grass in your yard, it appreciates all of this.
For those of us who mow a lot,
I knew you were going there.
You know what? This time of year, we like for the grass to get a little brown so we don't have to mow as often.
You took that positive and just threw it right out of the window.
Twisted it. Boom. Listen, after day of storms, I got nothing positive. I got nothing left in the tank. Yeah, boom, I'm off.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, a couple of problems. We're still working around town. The crash on the interstate has been cleared on 64 toward Clark County, so we're good to go there. But a couple of collisions still working in Lexington. One is North Broadway and 3rd Street. Another one, North Broadway and Paris Pike. And a new one at Vine and Beck Alley. Those are all non-injuries. Drive times so far to Nicholasville, up to 15 minutes now. To Winchester, 25, and to Richmond, about 24 minutes across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
Just ahead, fall practice about to get in gear.
Well, that's right. It's coming up for the Cats. The Louisville Cardinals hit the practice field tomorrow. We'll hear what Bobby Petrino has to say about his team and the adjustment of going from Kentucky into the NBA. What's it like for Jamal Murray with the Nuggets? Sports is next. Tyler Eulis was here in Lexington for a camp yesterday. He went to a Drake concert last night in Chicago, and today he was back in Louisville for a pro camp. He's been on the move. One thing that Eulis learned under John Calipari is servant leadership, giving back. He said today that's something he's not going to forget now that he's moved on to the NBA.
You definitely got to keep that going, because as a pro, everybody's looking up to you even more. You made it to where you wanted, you reached your goals, so you have to talk to kids, make sure they keep on the right track, working hard for their goals, and anything can come true.
Now, Jamal Murray is headed into his rookie season with the Denver Nuggets. He is hopeful of playing a role in leading the Nuggets into the playoffs for the first time since 2013. The Nuggets made Murray their top draft choice. He's versatile. He can play the point or play the off guard. He's coming off a strong performance in the NBA Summer League, but a shorter shot clock has been an adjustment.
With the instead of a 35 shot clock, it's 24 now, so the coach just wants you to first open look, take it. I'm just trying to get used to that, not always looking for the best available shot, just kind of take the first one that's open. I just found my role. I played point guard, scored the ball, found some guys, and won games, and then we had a lot of fun.
On to football. The Wildcats report to campus Thursday. The Louisville Cardinals open practice tomorrow. The Cards are on campus today. Louisville picked to finish 3rd in the ACC. Earlier today, Bobby Petrino met with the media, talked about the depth on what will arguably be the best team he's had so far at U of L.
I am really looking forward to the competition. I think there'll be great competition for starting spots, for who's second, who's third. I truly believe that the players set the depth, the way they go out and practice, and their consistency and their production. I also believe that as a player, you need to show your teammates that you're the starter.
And Georgetown College is the pick to win the Mid-South Conference East Division in a vote of league coaches. The Tigers receiving 5 first-place votes. Bill Cronin's crew won their 19th Mid-South title last year. Reinhardt University picked to win the Eastern Division. Coming up the next half hour, a football commitment for the Wildcats, and we'll preview Pulaski County. Stay with us.